Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. When we look at the Dusthanas or the 6th, 8th and the 12th houses in a horoscope, many times we are a little wary of what could be the results that the horoscope or that part of the horoscope may throw up, what challenges we may face, what issues which we may face, what losses may come by to us, and how they could affect our lives negatively. And it becomes a little more worrisome if those are more strengthened also by, for example, Dusthanas in the Navmansh, also in the D9 also. However, the Navmansh and the Dusthanas in the D1 chart or the Lagna chart are slightly different in their dissemination. Navmansh in fact give you more clarity of what the results of the life can be, basis what are the sign energies shared between the D1 chart, the Lagna chart, as well as the D9 or the Navmansh chart. So the sign energies which go in the Dusthanas, when you look at what houses those sign energies own in the Lagna chart, then you will be able to find the connect and then see how at a final level the life is disseminating or throwing up challenges or manifesting or even rewarding you. So Navmansh gives a finer clarity of how the certain sign energies connected to a house are throwing up various life events. So they should not only be seen in a negative manner. However, if there are afflictions in the Dusthanas, in the Navmansh, in the D9 chart, then definitely there will be challenges, there will be issues in the house which is connected to the same sign in the Lagna chart, and that's how you should see the connection between the Dusthanas in the Navmansh chart and the sign that the Dusthanas have in the Navmansh to what those signs have as houses in the Lagna chart. However, if those Dusthanas in the Navmansh get connected to the Dusthanas in the D1 chart, in the Lagna chart, then definitely there could be more challenges which a person may throw up. And hence, it's important to understand the Dusthanas in the D9 in the Navmansh more clearly, more accurately. And hence, a lot of focus has to be given to the Dusthanas in the D9 and should not be a flimsy effort of understanding it. Many times, Dusthanas are misused by so-called commercial astrologers or pundits who are out to make a fast buck. So they will advise you various pujas, they will advise you various gemstones, they will fleece money from you. Some people may just scare the wits out of you and then steal money from you. So my suggestion to you is, somebody says your life is full of challenges, full of issues, you are dead. Please run from those astrologers. Please run from those people who suggest expensive pujas, expensive gemstones, or tell you that I will do this for you, I will do that for you, buy this from me, buy that for you from me, or they just don't tell you any of it but just tell you your life is done, you're finished. Run from all these people, because these people are either not trained well enough, they don't understand what astrology is, mind you, or they are out to make a financial gain out of you. In both the cases, you will get fearful of what your life is going to throw up as challenges. You will spend money and yet still be in the fear that I have paid money to this pundit or to this person who have got the gemstone from, but I hope it works. You will always keep your fingers crossed. You will always be looking over your shoulders of where the trouble is coming. We don't deserve that life. We don't deserve that that approach in life. We don't deserve that mental strain. We need to live our lives comfortably and with peace. So run from any such people. If you find my videos also creating fear in you, no positivity, no clarity, please run from me also. If you have subscribed my channel, desubscribe from my channel, block my channel, report my channel, do whatever you want, because probably I deserve it. But if you find that my channel, my videos create more positivity in your life, try to give you more clarity, then please keep on watching. But if they do, a lot of you who have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you find that my channel gives you clarity, gives you peace of mind, gives you a trajectory in which direction your life should move, and it does not create fear but clarity, then please subscribe to my channel. What are you waiting for? And please share this with others also, so that they can also benefit. Many times we are a little wary of telling people that I follow horoscopes online or I watch YouTube channels. Many of you who watch my channel also watch 3, 4, 5, 6 other channels as well. So if you're so much into astrology and you believe in astrology, and if you think it does help or serve you in some way, why not share with friends or like-minded people, or at least with close friends, and say, or you have a look at their horoscope, and then suggest them this channel if you find something which you think they can be helped by. So anyways, so Dusthanas are not something always to worry about, and many times the Navmansh Dusthanas, as I said, have a slightly different trajectory, slightly different meaning from how our lives will throw up. So let's give you a few examples. If the Dusthana in the Navmansh, say the 6th house, if it has say Virgo energies, then look at which is the house which owns the Virgo sign in the Lagna chart. So in the Navmansh, if the 6th house has Virgo energies, then the ascendant is obviously Aries in the Navmansh. Now if that Virgo sign which is owning the 6th house in the Navmansh chart now rules the 2nd house in the Lagna chart, Virgo going in the 2nd house, which means the ascendant is of Leo. But anyways, the ascendant is not so very important here. The sign is very important. So the 6th house sign Virgo in the Navmansh owns or rules the 2nd house of earning, livelihood in the Lagna chart, which means that you may face hurdles, issues, competition in your earnings. That is a finer dissemination of that or meaning of that, which means in your earning it will not be easy. You will have to struggle against competition. Usually where does the competition come from? If you are a working person, the competition comes from at your office. So what could have happened at office? That people are competing with you, especially concerned with earning. It means that there could be colleagues who are trying to steal a march over you, maybe behind your back doing some manipulation, or they are not manipulating anything, but they are giving you stiff competition for growth and for the favors of the supervisors, for the favors of the managers, because the 6th house of the Navmansh is also connected to service, and the Navmansh is more strongly connected to relationships. And so if your relationship is something which is very, very strong with your colleagues, with your bosses at work, then earning will also go up. And that's how you see the connection between the Dusthanas in the Navmansh and the same sign rulership in the Lagna chart. Now on the other hand, say for example, the 8th house has in the Navmansh has Leo energies, and now the Leo sign in the Lagna chart is ruled by your 10th house, or Leo is in the 10th house, where in the Navmansh it is in the 8th house. So here career, if of the Lagna, Leo sign is getting connected to the 8th house in the Navmansh chart. So career could be connected at a finer level to research, to spy work, espionage, maybe to data collection, and any sort of analytics that one person needs to do, or insurance, or virtual money, or wealth management, or auditing, or in those services which are emergency services, like the fire services, like the ambulance services, like the insurance services. Insurance also you claim generally in emergency situations. So then your career could be connected to all of this, or anything virtual, whether it is online that you do something which is virtual, or artificial intelligence. So anything that you are connected to the virtual world, virtual money, virtual reality, or even to arts, but which are virtual, which are make believe. So theater, drama, movies, magic, all of this can be connected to your career, or your career could be connected to these. But there will be obstacles, there will be also roadblocks. It won't be an easy journey, and that's how you see the connection between the Dusthanas of the Navmansh chart and the connection of that same sign in the Lagna chart. On the other hand, if the 12th house of the Navmansh is getting connected to, say for example, the 5th house in the Lagna chart. Let's take a specific example. The 12th house in the Navmansh is ruled by Taurus sign. So then the Navmansh ascendant becomes, Gemini sign becomes the ascendant of the Navmansh, because Taurus is ruling the 12th house. Now if the Taurus sign See where it is in the Lagna chart. If it is ruling the 5th house. So here the 5th house of the Lagna chart has the same sign energies as the 12th house in the Navmansh chart. What is the meaning of this? This is that in your speculative investments, because the 5th house is the house of speculative investments, and the 12th house in the Navmansh is the house also of losses, isolation. So there is a high chance that you do some work in isolation. So a computer programmer, somebody working on computers, working alone, or you are an individual performer who doesn't work in a team. A lot of people who do audits, even in large organizations, may be working isolated, working alone. Or if you are not on the site, but if you are in a remote area where the office is somewhere else, that could also be another one. Third could be you're working out of home. So a homemaker or a housewife, after the children go away, husband, everybody goes away to work, she sits in one corner of the house, has a small office, and then online she's doing work, whether she's working on some analysis or whatever. So she's working in isolation from her office. And this also connects your 5th house to the 12th house. So your career could also get connected to foreign clients, foreign customers, MNCs, and even children going to foreign lands, because the 5th house is also the house of children, or because the 5th house is also the 8th house to the 10th house. So upheavals coming and challenges coming in your job, in your career, because your relationship management is poor. Why? Because the 5th house is also the house of upheavals in the job, and the Navmansh is about relationships, and the 12th house is about losses. In another way, as long as there are no malefics involved, positives involved, positive aspects, then you could find love in a foreign land as well. So there are number of manifestations. So you need to be able to see deeper what the connection is, how it is manifesting. But if you have to find love in the foreign land, because you're connecting the 5th house of romance in the Lagna chart to the 12th house in the Navmansh, because the 12th house here is ruled by Taurus sign, whose ruler is Venus, then there should also be stronger connection in the Lagna chart, also connecting your 5th house of romance in some way or the other to the 12th house, or the 12th ruler by virtue of conjunction, by virtue of aspect, or placed in the same nakshatra. Some connection should surely be there in the Lagna chart also, because the Lagna chart has more say than Navmansh. Navmansh may have a slightly more say in the matter of relationship, but it is only on an even keel. It will never supplement what the Lagna chart says. So now what I want to do is, I want to bring up a horoscope of somebody who's a very, very celebrated politician, somebody who the West loves to hate, somebody who is also very controversial, but has been able to hold on to the power, political power in his country for over 2 decades, has also been a KGB agent. Obviously I'm talking about Russia, and he is none other than the current president of Russia, which is Mr. Vladimir Putin. Now when you look at Mr. Vladimir Putin's horoscope, you will find that his Lagna is that of Libra, and Venus is placed right inside the Lagna itself, and Venus also rules the 8th house, and you have Moon, which is the 10th lord in the Lagna chart, placed in the 8th house. So here the 8th house ruler Venus goes into the Lagna itself in a very, very strong placement in his Murtrikona sign. The 10th lord Moon goes into the 8th house. So here career is getting connected to the 8th house of spy agencies, undercover agent, especially because Moon is exalted here and is placed 11th from its Murtrikona sign. So he gets huge success and also accolades in his role as a spy agent, as an undercover agent. And because Venus, the ruler of the 8th house, also goes into his Lagna, he will always be remembered as a spy or a KGB agent. Even now, when almost 3 decades have passed since he has left the KGB, he has left being a spy, yet even today he is remembered for being a KGB agent. Whenever somebody introduces or describes Mr. Putin, they always recall his being a spy in the KGB. Now let's go to his Navmansh chart, his D9 chart. Now in his D9, let's look at his Dusthanas right away, because here we are talking about the Dusthanas in the Navmansh chart. Now his first Dusthana, the 6th house, has the Taurus energies, And when you look at and compare it with the Lagna chart, the 6th house Dusthana in the Navmansh chart gets connected to the 8th house Dusthana in the Lagna chart. So the 6th house Dusthana in the 6th house Dusthana in the Navmansh getting connected to the 8th house Dusthana in the Lagna chart should actually be a challenging placement for him, because two Dusthanas are getting connected, so there should be obstacles. Now because his moon is exalted, the 10th lord gets exalted in his Lagna chart, and he has a fantastic career as a KGB agent. What it shows in the Navmansh chart is that where is the 6th lord ruler goes in, the 6th house ruler right now goes into the Lagna chart. So in his career he has always, or in his reputation, in his personality, how the world sees him, there will always be he will always face this pushback that this person is a KGB agent, that this person is somebody who has been a spy. Can he be trusted? He has done espionage activities in various of our countries, especially the West will find a reason to distrust him. Second, in the Navmansh, which is also a horoscope or the chart of relationship, his 6th house, which is also the house of loss of relationship, its ruler Venus goes into the Lagna. So facing challenges in his married life and also facing court cases or the matter going into a separation from his spouse. And hence, if you know Mr. Putin's life, he was married and he had children, and eventually he and his wife also divorced and also separated, and matters connected to Venus, because he faced allegations that he also had a relationship outside of his marriage and also had children from the other woman. So the loss of relationship can also be seen from his Navmansh chart, because the 6th house ruler of loss of relationship rules the 8th house of obstacles, sudden transformations, sudden losses, and goes into the Lagna. And because the 6th house ruler is also Venus, he also faces allegations that he has siphoned off billions of rubles of public money, and he has siphoned off and he has stored it away, and he has huge properties and used in huge investments overseas also. Now let's look at his other Dusthana, which is the 8th house. Now 8th house has Cancer sign. So where is the Cancer sign energies going into the Lagna chart? The Cancer sign energy of the 8th house goes right into his 10th house, and hence as I have told you that the Navmansh will give you a finer dissemination of his Lagna chart. So here the 10th house ruler of the Lagna chart is directly getting connected, or the sign is getting connected to the 8th house of being a detective, being an undercover agent. So very, very strong connection between the 10th house of his career in his Lagna chart to the 8th house of espionage and being a spy in the Navmansh chart, and that's how clear a dissemination Navmansh will give of various areas of your life. And because the 8th house ruler in the Navmansh chart also goes into the 8th house itself and in exaltation in the Lagna chart, so he is a very celebrated KGB agent, and he has also made a lot of political gains out of that career of his. Now let's also look at his 12th house. His 12th house has the Scorpio energies and also has Jupiter in it. Now let's see, where does the Scorpio energies of the Navmansh chart, being the ruler of the 12th house, the last Dusthana, get connected to? That gets connected to the 2nd house of earning in the Lagna chart. Second connection is, while Jupiter is placed in the Scorpio sign in the 12th house in the Navmansh chart, Mars, which rules the Scorpio sign of the 12th house in the Navmansh chart, is placed in Jupiter's sign in the Lagna chart, which shows that as a KGB agent working overseas, he stayed also in East Germany for a number of years, and working overseas, his effort goes into working overseas, because the Lagna chart, Mars placed in Sagittarius, is also having the 9th house energies of traveling abroad, working overseas, and getting connected to the 8th sign of Scorpio. Scorpio sign, as we know, also has the 8th house energies and getting connected to his 2nd house in the Lagna chart. So again, his earnings, his income coming from espionage or connected to the 8th house energies. So you can see how clearly the Lagna chart and the Navmansh chart are speaking to each other, establishing a strong relationship, also showing various drawbacks in his life, and hence all these decisions of his life have also not been clear. For example, in the Navmansh, Jupiter, which is retrograde, going into the Scorpio sign, Scorpio sign being the sign of 8th house, and here the 12th house of hidden blood pressures in the Navmansh shows that he was involved because of lack of judgment, because of Jupiter being retrograde, of getting involved in some secretive blood pressures as seen in the 12th house of Scorpio signs in Navmansh, and because of which also he facing flack in the public life. And this flack also gets connected with the 6th house also being ruled by Jupiter in the Lagna chart, and the 6th ruler Jupiter going into his 7th house in the Lagna chart, which means that the 12th house energies of Navmansh chart of lack of judgment, getting involved in secretive blood pleasures, and through that the 6th house gets activated, leading to his divorce, and Jupiter going in the retrograde fashion in the 7th house of marriage, especially with Rahu also placed in his 4th house of domestic happiness in his Lagna chart. So friends, now that we have seen Mr. Vladimir Putin's horoscope, how we have seen the connection between the Lagna chart, various sign energies connected with those sign energies connecting his Navmansh Dusthanas, how they are giving him both progress in his life, giving him exaltation in his life as both a political connection as well as being a spy, as espionage agent for his country and serving his country, and also getting a lot of praise for his work, getting a lot of praise for that work, eventually leading him to the highest echelons of office, making him the president of USSR. But at the same time, he continues to be somebody who is a suspicious character, not very much liked by the West. In fact, the USA thinks that he has been responsible, or Russia has meddled in the election in the US, because of which Donald Trump became the president earlier, and now also they have accused him of again influencing the presidential election again, because of which Joe Biden also won. So anyways, controversies will always chase such a person whose Dusthanas get connected, especially the 8th house is strongly activated, his 12th house of secretive hidden blood pleasures is also activated, Venus goes into the Lagna, so controversies will face such a person related to his relationship, related to his money, related to his espionage activities, and related to his career as well. So friends, look into your own horoscopes, understand the connection between the sign energies of the 6th, 8th and the 12th house in the Navmansh, and then see what sign energies ruling which houses in the Lagna chart. Try and understand them better. Try and see what disseminations you have and what events they have thrown up in your life, what opportunities they have given you in your life, what obstacles they have brought about in your life, and what favors those conditions have given you. I will look forward to some of you sharing your experience in the comment section below. Please share this video, please like this video, and if you are looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me, the link given below. Till some other time, some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.